The story of Linda Patterson Slaten. Linda Patterson Slaten was a 31-year-old woman and a mother of two sons. She lived in Lakeland, Florida, raising her children on her own. Her life was cut short suddenly and brutally, and the truth about her death remained hidden for nearly 40 years. Early in the morning on September 4, 1981, Linda's sister entered her apartment and found her dead in her own bed. Linda was partially undressed. The cause of death was strangulation. A metal wire coat hanger had been twisted around her neck. Evidence pointed to sexual assault. At the time, her two sons, aged 12 and 15, were sleeping in adjacent rooms and heard nothing. Police collected all possible evidence: fingerprints, biological samples, and signs of forced entry through a window. However, in the early 1980s, technology did not yet allow for identifying a perpetrator through DNA. Investigators checked many suspects, her ex-husband, acquaintances, and strangers, but none could be linked to the evidence. The case went cold and became one of the many cold cases of the era. Years passed. Linda's children grew up without ever knowing who killed their mother. What made it especially painful was that a man they trusted had remained in their lives. This was Joseph Clinton Mills, the coach of the younger son's youth football team. He would drive the boy to practice, interact with the family, and even offered help in the wake of the tragedy. It wasn't until 38 years later that the truth began to emerge. In 2018-19, investigators returned to the case using the latest methods of genetic genealogy. Biological material preserved since 1981 was reanalyzed and compared against public genealogical databases. Step by step, experts reconstructed family trees that led to one name: Joseph Clinton Mills. DNA found on Linda's body was a perfect match for Mills' DNA. Additionally, a palm print left on the apartment window on the night of the murder matched his prints recorded during an arrest for another crime in 1984. Under the pressure of the evidence, Mills tried to justify himself by concocting stories about a consensual relationship, but the forensic facts completely refuted his claims. In December 2019, Joseph Clinton Mills was arrested and eventually pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. The court sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For Linda's sons, this was both a relief and a new trauma. They learned that the man they had trusted throughout their childhood was their mother's killer. Justice arrived very late, but the truth was finally named. Linda Slaten's story is a reminder that even after decades of silence, evidence can speak, and crimes that seem forgotten are sometimes just waiting for their time to be solved.